Should I wait or start?
Just a second. I'm setting the live stream.
Okay, no problems.
Okay, ma'am, we can start.
Okay, sir. So welcome all to today's classes. Today we will be discussing about the most important points we have to discuss regarding your Yoga Ratnakara. So there are three things which are coming, that is Yoga Ratnakara, Harita Samhita and Bela Samhita. After you study all the parts of Samhitas, this is the part which you will have to study regarding the Yoga Ratnakara part. So we'll start with the Yoga Ratnakara, what it means like. So yoga, the word yoga itself, you know what it is there. There is a formulations part, and Ratnakara means it is a collection part which is meant here. So here also we have the parts like the Yoga Ratnakara and also literatures which is named after the yoga. There are Yoga Ratna Samuchaya is there, and also regarding Madhava Nidhana has also returning regarding the series in Vrindamadhava has written, and these are all the time periods where it was written there. So other than that one, there are also regarding the Yogaratna Samuchaya, Yogaratnavali, Yogasara, and Yogashara and Yoga Tarangini, which was written from right from the 10th century towards the 17th century, which was written. So when we consider the time period of Yogaratnagara, you can consider it about 17th century AD, and Vaishyajaratnavali by about 18th century AD, you can consider it. So whenever we consider the book of Yogaratnagara, that is the Purvardha part, when it is starting with the Mangalacharana, and almost the parts of Nidhana, like the Pada Chatushtaya, Rogi Pariksha, and the Roga Pariksha part, also the Ashtasthana Pariksha is done in the Purvardha part of it. So here we have, other than the Purvardha part, these are done in the Purvardha part, and also some of the parts where the PG level of questions will be asked regarding Dik of Mutra Pariksha. So, Dik of Mutra Pariksha also, it has wide references in Yoga Ratnagara. If it is coming in the southern east direction, what will be the diseases the person will be having? Like that of varied references we get from Yoga Ratnagara part. And also the Ama Nirama Nirupana, Arishta Lakshana part, and also the Aryoga Lakshana, with a reference of Mana Paripasha with the Magadha and the Kalinga Mana is also. You have also the Siddhana, Yusha, Dinacharya and Ratricharya part which is covered there in the first part with some aspects of Vaishijya Kalpana where it is meaning with the Panchavidha Kashaya Kalpana and also Shodhana Marana of Saptadhatus with the glimpses of Panchakarma part. And these are the main diseases where the Nidhana and the Chikitsa is maintained here, like the Jwara, Adhisara, Grahani, and Arsha, with Agnimandya and Ajirna, and also Raktapita part, which is covered there. Also, you have the Uttarartha part of it. So, the Uttarartha part is the Shula, Gulma, and Hridroga, with up to the Medho Vriddhi part, which is covered there. And you have the Galaganda, Shripada, and the Masurika part with the Shalake diseases of especially the Karna Roga, Nasa Roga, and the Netra Roga part. And these are the areas which was covered from the Stri Roga aspect and the Bala Roga aspect. I think maximum Yoga Ratnakara part regarding the Moda Garbha, the questions were asked. So according to Yoga Ratnakara, the Moda Garbha aspects, there you have to highlight because Yoga Ratnakara references are very less used in the cases of Modagarbha aspects because Sushruta has told widely about Modagarbha aspects. So the person who is not a specialist of Modagarbha but has commented on Modagarbha, you have to give importance there. So the Modagarbha aspect on all which is mentioned there. And these are the specialities of Yoga Ratnakara, like the drugs from foreign country, mainly regarding Ahifena, and also the Akarakarbha is also mentioned there. Also, the Shodala Gada Nigraha and Sarangadara part also, it has the references and the Vijaya in Sindhura, the yoga references. Also, the Gunakarma of Tamaku with the Tikta Ushnarasa and Kapha Vadahara action with the Shwasakasahara and Mutrashaya Shodaka action with the Dandashulahara aspects. And also the Dasakarpura with the Ubadamsha uses also mentioned them. Mainly the question aspect regarding Yoga Ratnakara is regarding Ritu Antu Anusara Uttama Vayu. From their aspect, I think 1 or 2 questions were asked regarding Ritu Anusara Uttama Vayu is from which direction, and also regarding Stri Vayavastha. According to Yoga Ratnakara, Stri it should be in which like the classification of Stri is also mentioned in the cases of Stri Vayavastha part there. Also Snayuka and Shitala part there, and also Sitavada Sparshavata is also mentioned. And these are about the diseases of regarding Vimaseni Karpura in Netra Yoga, and also regarding Tailabandhu examination. So this Tailabandhu examination we will be dealing in the Yoga Ratnakara part of it, because if it is coming in the southern east direction, what I have told, so that Tailabandhu examination can be done as a diagnostic tool there with the color of stool and the urine, which is mentioned according to the disease conditions there. You have the Ashtasthana Pariksha here. So here, in the cases of Ashtasthana Pariksha, in the case of Ashtasthana Pariksha, the sites and method of pulse examination, and also in pathological conditions, what it is. So starting with the main important heart of Yoga Ratnakara there, there we have starting from the Yoga Ratnakara Padna, Nadi, Mutra, Malachipo, Shabdasparsha, Drikakriti. And also the pulse in physiological conditions, and also the mental state, how it will be. Like if the person is having good hunger, then depending upon that, Vegavati and Lagutva Lakshana is there mentioned in some of the areas of Yoga Ratnakara. You have the pulse in general pathological states like Vatika Paitika, we have the Lakshana of the snake, the frog, and the swan. These are the general animal correlation there. And you have the 3 finger examination where the index, middle, and the ring finger is mainly used there. Also the Vada Paitika and the Vada Kafaja Lakshana there. You have the Pitta Kafaja. So Pitta Kafaja is considered with the monkey and the swan there. For the Kafaja, it is already mentioned regarding the swan posters, and for the fever and all which is mentioned, depending upon that, the wherever the animus is correlated, that only you have to correlate. So here in the cases of Sannipadiga, it is mentioned regarding the woodpecker signings there. So woodpeckers are having a continuous picking type of movement, like it will be picking like that movement, tuck, 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 tuck sound will be there. So Sunny is pecking lot. Yeah, for Sunny is a woodpecker, like that you can correlate. So when you correlate like that, you have the woodpecker, you can correlate with the Sannipadiga Lakshana there. So the pulse indicating the bad prognosis there. So if the death is within the 3 hours, there will be a shoaling type of movement with the perspiration, and the coldness is there. When the death within 3 hours is there. Within a day means it will be having the hourglass or the damaru shaped, it will be there. Similar to the hourglass, like on the upper part of the hourglass, slowly the slant particle will be sliding down from the upper portion towards the lower portion. Similar to that, in a day, similar to that only, the oozing of the sand from the upper portion to lower portion, it will be there in the cases of death within a day there. Also, the death within 2 days there. Here, you have the excessive amount of metabolites there, and the pulse will not be felt at the proximal end, and the cold in the middle and the terminal part will be there. So here, I think you can give importance to indicating that within 7 days, no? So you're speedy at the proximal end and cold and sweaty like that, which is mentioned. That also, it is okay. That also doesn't have much importance there. And good prognosis, what it is. So the pulse is moving like the swan and the elephant there. So you have to remember, like, we have the Nimitta Rupa Lakshana, no? Like every morning, when you get up, you see some of the animals, it is auspicious on that day. Similar to that, the elephant is an auspicious animal which is considered. And the swan is there. That is why in the Purana, Raja Grahas and all, they used to feed the swan or keep the swan in the palaces there, so that it will be having an auspicious effect there. So here, the swans and the elephants are considered as auspicious. So auspicious means something good there. So good means you have to consider the swan and the elephant there. You have the food preparations also, like the Goduma Polika is there, that is the Balakaraka, with having a Brahmanagara action there, and the Vatanashaka, that is the Vataka property, and the Kanji, Panaga, and the Raga Kandava is also mentioned there, like the Prutuka. Maybe I think whenever the festivals are coming, the Chivuda aspects which is mentioned there, the Prituka, then Laja, Vesavara, like that. Then when you come to the Dhanya Varga, it is the Shalidanya, Shishtika, and the Yava. So Yava, it is Purusha Janana and Vadakara aspects. And Sarvatamostu Patya is which considered as like that. The question can be asked. Sarvatamostu Patyama is Mudga there. And it is Vatana Lomaka here in the case of Yogaratnagara. But when you go to the Ashtanga Hridaya and Sushruta's point, it is Vatakara, it is told that. So there is difference of opinion for Mudga according to different acharyas. Here it is Vatana Lomaka which is mentioned there. And you have the Vastuka, Kakamachi, and the Tanduliya is there. The Patola, the most Hridya vegetable is the Patola there. Also, you have the Kafanashaka property, the Nala, and the Phala is Tridosha Nashaka. So, which among the following option is Tridosha Nashaka? So, when you consider the part of the Patola, it is the Phala part, and the Moola is the Rechaka. That is why you have two kinds of Kashaya. One is the Patola Kadirohinyadi Kashaya, and another is the Patola Mooladi Kashaya there. So, Patola Kadirohinyadi Kashaya generally is indicated for the this kind of skin complaints there. But when you want the skin complaint to be treated after the Virechana, in such conditions, you have to opt the Patola Mooladi Kashaya there. Also, you have the Brahati, Karavelaga, and Chakravartya there with the Katutumbi and the Trapusa is there. And the Grinjana, Surana, Raja Karkatika, and the Rajifala is also there. It's not so important. These are the important things which is mentioned there. And some of the Draksha is mentioned there. What is the Phalavarga? So the Draksha, it is Madati Nashika. That is why you have the Draksha Panaga, and also with the Karjurali Manta can be given in the cases of Madatya Panaka then. And the Dadima, it is the Grahi, Hridya. So opt to one among the same, which is having a Grahi and the Hridya effect with the Deepana aspects there. And you have the Ekala Dravya Prayoga. So I think this is having wide importance there, Ekakala Dravya Prayoga, because according to the current NCISM syllabus part, when you consider the Dravyaguna aspect, there is Ekakala Dravya Prayoga. More of the time, it is Dravyaguna is being followed there. So that is why I think this will be given more importance in the current teaching curriculum or in the current question pattern. This can be given most importance there. Like what are the number which is important. So this number you have to just be familiar. What are the number which is mentioned there. Like for the Vishamajwara, it is 7 in number, and Bhasmaka, it is 2 in number. That is the Ekakala Dravya Prayoga here. These are just to the numbers. And when you come to the AK11 drug, and what is the form which can be given for the person. So when you consider with the Haridaki, of course, the Phala we will be taken, and we will be taking the Churna aspect with the Madhu there. And it's specially indicated in the cases of Vishamajwara. So which among the following drug like that, the questions can be framed there. When you come to the Pippali Phala is taken with respect to the Vishamajwara aspects, sir. Yeah, welcome back to classes again. So here we will be discussing about the Ekakal Dravya Prayoga. In that one, the Rasona is variously described, because in the cases of Rasona, the main important thing is that the Rasona we always confuse with the Churna part of it. So the Rasona Kalka is used there in the cases of Vishamajvara. Though in the cases of Rasona, how the confusion is coming, because we have the Lashana Kshirapaka, and that Lashana Kshirapaka is mentioned in the case of Hridaya Vyadis, it is mentioned there. So Hridaya Vyadi, and then when we are coming to the Vishamajvara, if in the options there is mentioning regarding, if in the option there is Hridaya, we may get a wrong answer there, because in our mind it will be having the Lashana Kshirapaka aspects there. That is why in the Rasona Kalka, the Rasona, we have done in the Rasashastra practical this one, but the Rasona Kalka is used in the cases of Vishamajvara. That you have to just understand. Rest is all very familiar for you, because the Tulasi, it is used in the Vishamajvara. You are using the Tulasi Swarasa in the Rasashastra practicals there. And then you have the other thing like... yeah, 1 minute. Okay. You have other than this one, Vijaya, the central part we have covered. Phalavarga is also covered. The Egakala Dravya Prayoga. These are one of them. Then Palasha, okay? Palasha Bijavat, Krimi Lakshana. Like that, the questions can be asked here. The Palasha Krimivat Lakshana. So here, the Guduchi, and one is regarding the Palasha, and other one is regarding the Guduchi aspects, which is mentioned here. So here, here it is, the Rasona is finished. The Dadima Falatwak, okay? Dadima Falatwak, mostly the condition is that for the Adhisara condition. That is why the Dadima Churna with, in the cases of Indukanda Grita, that is one of the thing which is given in the cases of Bala Adhisara conditions. Because in Bala Adhisara conditions, the Dadima Churna is generally given with the Indukanda Grita in the conditions of chronic Adhisara conditions and all. That you can consider. Though the Grita Prayoga is contraindicated, the Dadima has an effect on it. That is why most of the time the Dadima part, the outer pahad part, no, it is just washed well, and that outer part is just boiled with water, and that water is given as a drink also. It has an effect on the Adhisara part, because that Falatwak is having an effect of reducing the Adhisara conditions there, because it is a little bit of Piktarasa Yukta Dravya there. And also the Amapachana effect is also there. And when you come into the Chitraka will be having like for the Arsharoga. Okay, Chitraka, Arsharoga, you can correlate there. Also, other than that one, you have the Udumbara. The Udumbara Twak, mainly for the Basmaga Roga. So, Udumbara, you have to understand, like, Udumbara is something related with the religious aspects. So, in the roof part, or in the, not the roof part, in the bottom part, we always spray the Basma, or we always put the Basma, like that you have to remember. So, Udumbara, you can correlate with the Basmaga Roga. Then the Shunti. The Shunti in the cases of Ajirna condition. Of course, you are very familiar with that one, because that is given as a home remedy. Always the grandmother home remedies, it is given for the Ajirna conditions. So here also the Shunti Kwata. Some of the times where the Shunti Swarasa is given there, instead of that, you can advise the patients, or you can advise the people like not the Shunti Swarasa is given, the Shunti Kwata is having an importance for the Ajirna conditions. And you have the Nimba for the Krimi and the Vishala for the Krimi. These are all the Ekakal Dravya Prayoga. And for the Palasha for the Krimi. Mainly the Palasha Churna is used with Madhu for here. You have the Guduchi. The Guduchi Swarasa Gritapaka is there for the Kamala conditions. And the Durva for the Nasya there. And that is for the Raktapitta conditions. Mainly the nasal epistaxis conditions and all. Maybe I think I had seen the wonderful effect of this Durva when I was doing my in house agency their condition, because there is an area where you don't have the access to modern allopathic hospitals. So most of the time the epistatic nasal conditions means the Durva Swarasa or the Durva Panchaka is being taken, and it is just placed on the Brahmarandra region, and for some moments or for some within a few seconds, the epistaxis, the nasal epistaxis conditions were having a hemorrhagic action, hemostatic action there because of the effect of durva. So durva nasya can be given, or otherwise the durva kalka can be placed over the brahmarandra region for the raktapitta conditions of the body then. And the kanchanara raktapitta and the udumbara raktapitta, that's all the other drugs which can be used in the case of raktapitta. Durva is one of the main important thing which is specially indicated for the raktapitta then. And also the amalaki for the nasagata raktapitta, and for the vasa for the raktapitta conditions. You have the laksha. The laksha is the churna part which is used there. So the laksha churna for the rajakshma conditions, like the raktashtivana during the kshaya conditions there. And you have the ardraga, and the ardraga swarasa with madhu, it can be taken for the kasa conditions here. Then Kushmanda for the Shwasachurna. Mainly the Kushmanda lehya and all can be used, or the Kushmanda in the form of sweet can be also used there for the Shwasa conditions. Though Madhura Rasa higher indicated can increase the Shwasa, but here as a Rasayana aspects you can give the Kushmanda Rasayana, or the Kushmanda sweet can be taken. That is also one of the food innovations which is practiced nowadays. Then the hikka, Eshtimadu for the hikka, or the Mathulinga for the hikka. These are the other areas which is used there. And the Eshtimadu for the Swarabheda. Mainly the musicians people will be relying upon the Ayurvedic medicines mainly for the two conditions. One is for the Eshtimadu lehya, and the other one is for the Drakshadi, the Rakshadi lehya, and also for the Dashamuladi rasayana. These are all the things which is specifically soothing the throat, especially the people who talk more, or the people who tend to sing or use their throat much of the conditions. So here also you have the kashaya, the Eshtimadu kashaya can be given there, and one of the Swarakna Grida is there, Swara Grida, something like that. There is a Sahasra Yoga reference there, especially one of the content is regarding the Eshtimadu there, where you will be adding the Eshtimadu, and then the Grida can be prepared there with the adding the Eshtimadu, and that can be given in the cases of for the singers to have an improvement over the voice there. The Vidanga is there for the Arojaka, and the Dadimas for the Arojaka. These are the areas. For the Guduchi is there. The Guduchi mainly for the Chardi conditions. Okay, that also Guduchi already it has come there. These are all the Chardi Yoga Ratnakara Vichara. And the Nadikela for the Trishna conditions. Musta Panatya the condition, Mustadi Pramatya, like that it is used. Mustadi Pramatya, Panatya and Panavibrama conditions, and Danika for the Daha conditions can be used to them. You have the Vacha Churna for with the Madhu for the Apasmara conditions. Then some of the dravyas for the Ekakala Praya, mainly the Palasha in the Krimi there. And these are some of the research articles which are being referred for the Ardraga in Kasa and the Adima and Raktapitta, which can be used for the antidiarrheal aspects. And this is the Abhava Pradinidhi Dravya, which is discussed there, mainly with the Chitraka and the Dandi Prayoga, and the Ahimstra, Gogrda, mainly the Ajagrada can be used there. These are some of the references where you can use the Dravyaguna aspect of Yoga Ratnakara here. Now we will be going to the important MCQ part which can be asked here. Okay. So here, mainly already we have considered what are the chapters of Yoga Ratnakara, which is then. So it will start with the Mangalacharana, which is part here. The Mangalacharana part will be there. And you have the Duta Pariksha is also explained there. So in the Duta Pariksha, mainly you consider a perfect Duta if the Duta is having all the angas in the body perfectly. So that is all mentioned in the Duta Pariksha. And the Ashtavida Pariksha also, we have already covered in the PPT part of what is just mentioned regarding Ashtavida Pariksha. And coming to the Dosha Pragoba aspects there. So in the dosha prakopa, you have the Hemanta, Varsha and Shishira for the Vata, and Sharad and Grishma. Like that, Pittam, Sharadi, Kuppidi, like that we have already covered. So Sharad and Grishma for the Pitta and Vasanta for Kapha. Like that, that is why for Vasandika Vamana and all, some of the hospitals just carry Sharado Virejana. The Sharad Virejana and Vasandika Vamana are some of the OPD fetching things which you can practice in the case of Rutu OPDs. There are some wings there where you have the Rutu OPDs with Sharat Virechana and also regarding the Vasantika Vamana. And you have the Amavadi Lakshana with the Alasya Tantra that and all was mentioned in the first part of Yoga Ratnakara. You have the Ama, then Vaya, Balyavastha. Some of the things like Stri Vaya Avastha and the overall the adult avasthas or the deviation or the differentiation of their age which is mentioned there. So the Balyavastha is up to 16 years and the Madhya Vaya is about 70 years. This is having a correlation because according to the current censusial patterns, it is told like we always consider the Madhya Vaya up to 50 years because up to 50 years. But now the Madhya Vaya is extended up to 70 years and that is having a correlation with the Yoga Ratnakara because some way Yoga Ratnakara was correct according to this scenario we can consider. So according to Yoga Ratnakara, the Madhya Vaya is up to 70 years. These questions can be asked because the Madhya Vaya, we will, if we have the option of 50 years, we will surely go for the 50 years. No, there is no doubt there. So that is why the Madhya, you can also consider the Madhya Vaya for the Yoga Ratnakara is 70 years there. Yoga Ratnakara, you have the Y there. Okay. So Yoga Ratnakara, when we think there is Y there. So Y, a bit of modification when you do it, you can consider it as 7, no? Y7 like that, or Y you can just modify, you can consider it as 7, no? So Y Madhyavastha is 7 then. So this is considered as the Madhya Y because whenever you write the Y, it is, there are 3 types of Y here, okay? One is this Y and the other one is a little bit of straight type of Y you have and you have this type of Y you write. So this is the middle part. So this middle part is 7, like that you can correlate. Somewhere it is having a correlation to understand the Madhyama Vaya is 70 years for that one. And also you have the Dinacharya Vruddhavastha after 70 years. Once you get the Madhyama Avastha is 17 years, automatically you will get the other parts also. You have the Dinacharya, Nishacharya and Ritucharya is also explained here. These are of one of the areas which is mentioned. Okay. Okay. Then the other one is regarding Adarsha Darshana, Adarsha Logani, Mangalam Kandikarikam is mentioned. Rasa Anurasa Dhatu Prayoga. That you can understand. Madhura is having an effect on the recta. Anna on the Shukra. Of course, after the Anna only, the Anna, the Shesha part only, the Shukra will be having the nourishment there. Kashaya, Rasa and Katu is the Mamsa. So you have to understand like on the Mamsa, you apply little bit of Kadu Rasa Yukta Dravya because Mamsa is Kapha Vardhaga. That is why on top of it, if you spray some Katu Ahara Dravya, it will be having lesser absorption of Kapha in the body. So any Kaphagara Mamsa you can understand. Then the Tikta and the Meda. Of course, for the Medas to reduce, you can take any kind of Tikta Rasayukta Dravya. Lavana Asti. So you can understand like the Asti is full of salty things or this Asti is having a little bit of white part which is mentioned. And white part is the salty part you can understand. Mainly there was one advertisement like if your toothpaste has salt or what, like the Colgate toothpaste is there, no? So, it is used for the bones like that. The second part of advertisement is coming. So bones means it is having a correlation with the Lavana. Like that you can understand the Colgate advertisement. You can just correlate them. Then you have the Amla for the Majja and the Shadvita Ahara is explained. Like the Shadvita Ahara, it is not so important because you are familiar with that. And Kukshi divided into 4 bhaga. That is also beneficial. So that is also explained there. Then Bojana, prior you have the Dugdha Ahara or Dugdha Sevana and Madhya like Samata, and at the last Duddha for the Stulata. These are the things which is mentioned. And Tambula, 13 gunas which is mentioned. These are just Shadvida Ahara, like is mentioned. The Shadvida Ahara concept is first told by which Acharya, like that the question can be asked there. The Rutucharya, when we consider the Varsha Ritu is there. Varsha Ritu is the Puravada Nishiddha, and the Grishma Ritu is the Saktu Bhakshana there. So mainly, when you consider, I think in the food innovations, mainly I think the Sattu is widely explained there. So different types of Sattu, for it is changing the whole scenario after the Ahara Kranta has explained. Ahara Kranti, there was Ayya's compendium were there regarding Ahara Kranti. At the time, I think most innovation had happened with the this Saktu and also Ahara Vimarshana, like that. In the Saktu was given most innovative things because we have the protein and the elemental nutrition part there. So maybe the Saktu can replace it like that. There was a paper there. So Grishma Ritu, it is Saktu Bhakshana. I'm just telling what and all you can take after once you get the PGNs of Sivta, like that part I'm explaining. Okay, here you have the Ushna Jala. So Ushnodaka as it is Kafamedo Anilati and Basti Shodhana. This Basti Shodhana you have to underline. It is very important because which among the following is Basti Shodhaka, like that. In that one option was Ushnodaka. Actually, Basti Shodhana, you have other options. Any drugs were given there. But actually, Ushnodaka is the Basti Shodhana. Maybe the less limelighted things were being asked there. So that is why Ushnodaka is considered as the Basti Shodhana. Ushnodaka with the Shundi, that is given for the Kafaja Roga, and Ushnodaka with the Yavani in the cases of Vadaja Roga. Ritu Anusara Jalakwadasa Niyama, like that which is mentioned. So the Sharad Ritu, it is Ardha Padena Shesha, and Hemanta it is Padahina, and for Varsha Ashtamamsha Shoshita. This is one of the area which is repeatedly asked there. For the Sharad Ritu, it is Ardha Pada. The water should be boiled and it should be reduced to Ardha Pada, like that. So, Sharad Pada, like that you have to remember. Sharad's Pada or Sharad feet, like that you have to remember. The Sharad feet is good, or the Sharad feet is very important, like that you can correlate. Hemanta is Padahina. So, you have to understand like Hemanta was not having his legs. So, Hemanta is Padahina. Shishira, Vasanta and Grishma is Ardhava Sheshida, like it will be reducing the water to half region. Shishira, Vasanta and Grishma. So SVG you can remember. So SVG means like SVG, it is Ardhava Sheshida. SVG is reducing to half. When you consider at the Varsha, which is 1/8 part, which is Shoshana is part. And some of the areas of Takra Ashtagunas is mentioned, like Shuddhardvena is mentioned here, and you have the Jwara Chikilsa, which is mentioned, like the Jwarado Langanam Shasibe, that part is also mentioned. And up to 12 days, it is Madhyama, which is part there. And if it is about 12 years, it is Jirna part, which is mentioned there. These are some of the areas which is mentioned. And you have the Sanipada Chara, Ashtanga Avalehiga, and Saptamushtika Yusha. The Saptamushtika Yusha is very important because Saptamushtika Yusha was once asked, like it can be given in which condition, like that the questions can be asked here. Okay. Then you have the Sarvajwara, Panchamrita Rasa, and Sanipada Sirjada, Panchavaktro Rasa is also asked there here. Okay. You have the 7 days, up to the 7 days, it is Taruna Jvara, and 12 days, up to the 12 days, it is Madhyama, and beyond 12 days, it is Jirna, which is mentioned there. In Sanipada Jvara, it is Ashtanga Valehika and Suptamushtika. Similar to the other page, we have told to underline the Basti Shodhana. Similar to that, here you have to underline the Saptamushtika Yusha, because this part can be asked. The Saptamushtika Yusha can be asked here. For the Rasagata, it is Vamana and Lankana. For the Raktagata, it is Seka, Samshamana, Lepa, and Raktamokshana, which is mentioned there. And the Mamsagata is Tikshna Virechana is explained there. And the Medhogata is Medhanashana, and Astigata is Bastikarma, Abhyanga, and Udavarta is there. Udvarta, sorry, Astigata it is Bastikarma, Abhyanga, and Udvartana is mentioned. And Majjagata is Asadhya and Akriya part, which is mentioned there. Mandaraga Jwara, it is Jwaro, Daho, Brahmo, like that is mentioned. And Guda and Makshika Vakshana for the Mandaraga Jwara, and Vishnu Sahasranama always for the Jwara Chikilsa is explained there. And in the cases of Taruna Jwara, for the Pachana aspect, we have the Vamana, Langana, Kalo, Yavagu, Svedana, like that part which is mentioned there. Mainly, first we have to see for up to the 7 days it is Taruna Jwara, 12 days the Madhyama, and beyond 12 days is Jirna. Okay. You have the Vardhamana Pipali Yoga in Vishama Jwara, Ashtanga Dhupa is explained there. You have the Rasagada. Rasagada, it is Vamana and the Langana aspects which is mentioned. So whenever the Rasagada Vyadis or Rasagada Saptadhatukada, Rasagada Jwara Chigilsa, you have the Vamana and Langana which is given. The Vamana and the Langana for Rasagada. For Raktagada, it is Sega, Samshamana, Lepa and the Raktamukshana which is explained. For Mamsagada, it is Tikshna Virechana given. And Medhogada is Medanashana. And Astigata, it is Bastikarma, Abhinga, and Udvartana. Majjagata is Asadhya, Akriyavat Lakshana, like that you can understand. So, Medugada, Medanashana, you will surely get it. Astigata for the Bastikarma and Abhinga. Asti and Abhinga, maybe I think you will have difficulty to understand that. So, Asti and Abhinga, you can just correlate there. Asti and Abhinga. Abhinga should be done over the Asti, like that. Or the Abhinga and Udvartana should be done for the Asti, like that you can correlate. Then you will get the Astigata Jwara Chigilsa, the Bastikarma, Abhyanga, and Udvartana there. Mamsagada, it is for the Tikshna Virechana. In order to reduce the excessive Mamsa in the body, you have to give the Tikshna Virechana part, which is mentioned. And the Raktagada, it is Seka, Samshamana, Lepa, and the Raktamukshana, which is mentioned. So Raktagada is Seka, Samshamana, Lepa, and Raktamukshana. And Rasagata is Vamana and the Langana part. Mandaraga Jwara, like that it is mentioned. Manjaraga, it is Jwaro, Daho, Brahmo, Moha. He Atisaro, Vamistrisha, like that is mentioned. And you have the Vama Vishnu Sahasranama in Jwara Chigilsa. These are important areas only, which is done. And in the cases of Tarana Jwara, you have the Pachana. Vamanam Langanam Kalo, Yavaku Svedana Anichi, like that, Charaka. Then Sanipata Jwara Chigilsa, you have the Amadosha and Kapanashaka Chigilsa, which is mentioned there. And Agantuja Jwara, in that one, Langana is used there. There are 6 types of Adhisara, which is mentioned there. Vada Pitta Kapha, Tridoshaja, Shogaja, and Amaja Adhisara, which is mentioned. For the Shogaja, it is Kaganandi Pragashama and Duschigilsya. Wherever the word Duschigilsya is coming, there you have to underline, because Duschigilsya is one of the words which is always I think favorite of the examiners, because Duschigilsya, that word only is catchy, I think. So in the case of Visha, it is coming there. Duschigilsya is because of which guna of Visha? Like that the question can be asked. So Duschigilsya of Visha is because of the Lagugunatva in Visha. Like that only, the Shogaja Adhisara is Duschigilsya. Like that you can correlate it. The references of Adhisara, which you can avoid. The Varjya Adhisara Lakshana can be correlated there. So you have the Palala Jala Samana, Pakku Jambu Falabam. I think Pakku Jambu Falabala can be repeatedly asked there. Then you have the Grita, Madhu, Payabam, Tailam, Shavanalam, and Suganadiga Savarnam, Savarna, Varjaya Chadhisara, like that. Okay, 1 minute. Kunapaganda, Pudiganda. Of course, whenever you heard that word only, you can correlate. Kunapaganda and Pudiganda is having a relation. Lashuna Gandhatva, maybe when you have that word, the catchy word, maybe you will have a confusion. Like, Lashuna Gandha is having something like that. You can have it. And Palala Jalasamana and Pakku Jambu Falabhava. These are the areas where the Atisara should be Varjya. And Atisara, you have 10 Ubadravas, which is mentioned there. Like the Shofam, Shulam, Jwaram, Trishna, Shwasam, Kasam, Arochakam there. And the Chardi, Murcha, Hikka for Atisaranam. That is part where. And Ame Villanganam, Shastramado, Pajanevacha, which is mentioned. And Karyava, Ashaniyas Tantra, Sadrava, Lagubosha. And for the Adhisara, the medicines which is mentioned is regarding the Lagu Gangadhara Churna and the Vruddha Gangadhara Churna. And the Rakta Adhisara, it is Bilva and the Guda Prayoga, which is mentioned. And Tridoshaja Adhisara, it is Abhaya Gutika, and Bayashogaja Adhisara, it is Krishna Varnyadi Kwata. And Bala Bilva, that is for the Pravahika. And for the Jwaradisar, it is Dadimavala. These are some of the kalpas which can be useful for the practice there. And you have the Shadvida Disara, that is Mrita Sanjeevana Rasa. And Tridoshija, it is Jwaradisara for the Chandraprabha Vati. Anipana is with the Jiraka Churna. And Grahani, it is about the 4 types which is mentioned. Vadika Paitika, Kafacha, and Sanipatika. And you have the Amagrahani Lakshana. Chirakalani, it is the Amagrahani Lakshana. Then you have the Gadiyantra Grahani. I think these are the areas where like Parshius, the Galajala Dwaregni, like similar to a pot filled with a pitcher filled with water. Like that, the voice will be there, especially for the Gadiyantra Grahani, which is being correlated with the I think the lung-filled fluid abscess conditions, sorry, ascites condition also, you can correlate that. And there is Takra Haridagi. Takra Haridagi is very unique, no? You have the Takra Rishta and you have the Gomutra Haridagi. So it's the Takra Haridagi which is mentioned there. The Takra Haridagi means you have the 3 Kamsa ratio and Saindava will be 2 Kudava ratio and Abhaya will be having about 60 micrograms, so 60 milligrams part which is mentioned there. You have the Takra, Saindava, and Abhaya. Grahani Kalpa is there. That is the Brahat Gangadhar Churna, Talisadi Churna, and Jati Faladi Churna with the Chadurmukhi Rasa. And Arsha is about 6 types, like Sanipatika, Sahaja, Shonitaja, Vadika Paitika is mentioned. You have the Kalpa part, like the Marichadi Modaga, the Kangayana Gutika, and the Surana Modaga with the Bahushala Guda. These are some of the Kalpas which can be used in the cases of Arsha part. I think there is one more medicine which is available in the market, which is called as the Shikari Gula. That can be also given in the cases of the diseases where you have the excessive constipation, even though however you eat the fibrous food also, even though however you eat well with the proper amapachana and all, you have some kind of difficulty in the constipation or in going to the toilet. At the time, you can take the Shikari Gula there. It is having the reference of, I think it is Anubodha Yoga that is available in the market. Other than that one, when you consider the medicines of classical, which are, it is Marichadi Modaka, Kangayana Gutika, and the Bahushala Guda, Agastya Modaka. Here, the Agni is about 4 types. The Samagni, Vishamagni, Tikshna Agni, and the Andagni. Of course, you know, Samagni means the Samadosha. It is having a Rakshana. Just the Samadosha, it is having a protective action. Vishamagni is about Vata. Okay. Vishamagni, mainly whenever you understand, there may be a confusion like, it is Pitta or what, like that, the confusion can be. So Vishamagni is having a V, Vata is also having a V, like that you correlate. Tikshnagni is Pitta, of course, very easy. And Mandagni is Kapha. There you have to do the Vishodhana aspect, the Vishodhana aspect which is there. And there are some references about Bhasmagaroga is also mentioned in this chapter. The Visujika Panjobadrava is there. Here you have the Nidra Nasha, Arati, Kamba, Mutra Gadi, like that, which is mentioned. And you have the Amajirna Chigilsa, Vamanam Karyam Vidagde Langanam Hidam, which is mentioned. And you have the Ajirna, Alasaka, and Visujika. Ajirna, you have the Haridagi and Vidangadya Valeha. Alasaka, it is Palavarti, Vamana, and the Svetana aspects, which is mentioned. Okay. These are some of the Kalpa Vijara, which is mentioned. When we go to the Krimiroga, these are the some of the Yoga Vijaras which is mentioned for the Krimiroga. So you have the Padiradi Kwata and the Saptadina Prashana with the Suvartika Churna and Krimi Mudgare Rasa, Krimi Kutara. There is nothing highlighting there. Pandu Chikilsa and Falatrigadi Kwata. Maybe that can be asked. Falatrigadi Kwata can be used in which condition, like that the question can be asked. That is the Pandu Chikilsa. Then Loha Patra Sida Kshira, and that can be given with up to 1 Saptaha there. Okay. I think we will discuss something regarding how to study part and all. Most of the time, you may be confused because how to study. That is an important thing. How to study. There are different ways of studying. One of the commonest way is understanding by hearting the things. The other one is understanding the concept and then trying to make everything store in the brain. So I think the second one will be the most applicable in the case of PG studies, because you know already the concept, and now you have to understand how the questions can be set here. So some questions may be there when you come across that area only, you feel like, it can be asked. So that questions you first underline at the instance only, or you can underline it first only, so that you don't have any confusion there. Then when we are coming to the Pandu Chikitsa, that is the Phalatrikati Kwata and Loha Pratarsa Kshira, 1 week, up to 1 week it is used there. You have the Kamala Samanya Upachara, like the Leshanam Kamalartasya, Pandaroga Kriya, which is mentioned. And the Kalpa is Halimaka and Amalaki Avaleha, which is mentioned. And Raktapita is Vasa Prashasti is mentioned. And the Kalpa is Eladi Gutika and Kushmanda Avaleha. And Rajakshma is Shadruba Rajakshma. Okay, already Ekadashi Rupa Rajakshma you might have covered, the Shadruba Rajakshma. Upadrava, it is Bhakta Dvesho, Jaraha, Kasa, Shona Darshanam, like that is mentioned. And the Shosha is about 7 types. The Shosha is about 7 types. Whenever you consider the alphabets, 7 is very lean, no? See, whenever you write the 7, 7 is very lean, no? In the case, if you write the 8, it is very fat. If you write the 6 also, it is also a bit fat on the sides. So that is why, and you consider the 9 also, it is also a bit fat. Okay. So the 7 is the most lean one that you have to understand. Okay. Here you have the Shosha. So Shosha and 7, you can correlate here. There is Chadurdashanga Loha and the Brihad Navayasa Churna, which Ashwatha Valkalam, Trigatu and the Loha Kitta part. You have the Urakshara Chikilsa, then Hikoshwasa Chikilsa, there is Kasa, 5 types which is mentioned, like Aparajita Valeha, Dhananjaya the Guttika. Maybe very less written the Guttika says regarding the Dhananjaya the Guttika, and the Vyagiri Haritagi Leha with the Bhagavata Vatita. The Hikoshwasa Chikilsa is there. There is Gudavaleha, Chitraka Haritagi Leha, and the Shwasa Guda Rasa with Swarabheda, that is the Gorakshavati. You have the Murcha Bheda, like for the Daha, it is Mrata Sanjeevani Mati, and for the Unmada, it is Unmada Gajakesari Rasa, and for the Agantuja, it is Raktajanya, Vishajanya, and Surapanajanya. Ardhya Chikilsa with the Navanita and Kaden Mashendri Naraha, Durvara Mardita Hanti, Saptaratra and Nisimsheha, like that it is mentioned. For 9 days, the Ardhita can be treated. Within the 9 days, it can be controlled because the Navanita, the butter part, maybe the homemade butter when you take that is more beneficial. That kind of butter, it is mixed up with the Kachuradi Churna, any other Churna, which is just placed over the Brahmaranda region, and that is helpful for the Ardhita part because it is having a calming effect there. Because butter is having a cool or the Shita Virechana property there, Shita Virya property there. So that is why the Ardhita, this part is mainly used there. You have, in the case of Grudrasi, it is Rasna Gugulu, and Kroshtuja Shirsha, it is Uduchati Gugulu, which is mentioned there. You have the Vadaroga with the Abhati Churna, and for the Dhanurvata, it is Sudikabarana Rasat. Yeah, these are some of the areas part which is used there. I hope there is no doubt you are able to follow. Any doubt, please tell now only. I think I'll tell one story first. Okay. Part of the story which is widely used by the motivational people to understand. Some people always tell it is better to do only one thing at a time so that you have the full concentration on it. Like that, it is mentioned there. So here it is telling like an elephant which is tied to the pole of an elephant, which is tied to the pole of a small twig, because you have to, I'll just draw and understand what it is. There was a huge elephant, okay? Here, there was a huge elephant there, okay? The huge elephant, consider it as an elephant for the time being there, okay? It's a huge elephant. And it is being tied to a small stick. And the elephant is a massive thing. However it tries, it can pull it out and immediately remove it. That is much massive elephant is. But the people who came to visit the elephant was astonished because such a small stick, no one will tie it to for the elephant because it is very easy to pluck him up. So that is one. But its owner of the elephant told like, no, it can't be because in his mind, he knows he cannot pull it wide and make it there. So here, why? Why? Because when he was very young, he was taken from the forest and it was being tied to the small stick there. At the time, the elephant was small, but the stick was big. And the elephant tried his maximum to pull it out, but he never failed but he never become successful and he failed for it. And after that, he became very old also. He just considers like he cannot pull it back, that big stick, and he cannot come outside. Similar to that only, maybe in our younger days or nowadays, we might have failed in our exams or we not been that successful in our ways. There is always a thing like a small stick, which is pulling us away from anything wonderful going to happen. So you should consider what is the stick which is holding you behind, especially maybe the ego, the pride, or something of laziness. Whatever is holding you back, just release it. Then only you can understand which is the best life, which is moving forward. You have the Murcha Veda, that is Sahaja and Akadija with the Vada Pitta Kapha, and Raktajanya, Vishajanya, and Surapanajanya, which is mentioned. You have the Shita Vata here. Okay. And this is the Falatrika Churna. I think we have already covered with the Falatrika Churna for the Shunti Grita, and the Hingwata Churna for Khanda Shundya Valeha, and Simhanada Gugulu for Ahimsradi Upanaha and Amavada Vidvamsana Rasa. So Simhanada Gugulu for Ahimsradi Upanaha and Amavata Vidvamsana Rasa. This is for the Shiva. Sorry, Simhanada Gugulu, and for the Hingwati Churna, it is Kanda Shundya Valeha and Falatrika Churna for Shunti. This is the Kalpa, which is explained here. And you have the Amaveda in Erenda Prashasti, because in Amavata conditions, I think in the Amavada conditions, there is Sindhuvara Erenda and Gandharvahasta Erenda, which is mixed up with any kind of churnas, which is reducing the cerebral problems, or it is good as a Gugula form that is given in the cases of Erenda Prashasti for Amavata. And the Shula is about 8 things. How to make the Shula from 8? How it is like? You have to write the S, and from S, you will make it as 8. Like that, you have to correlate here. You have the Samana Chikilsa, wherein the Vamana, the Langhana, and Svedana, Pachana, and Falavartya is discussed here. And the Kalpa, like the Tridoshita Shila for the Shankachurna, and the Sarvashula with the Loha Trifala Yoga, which is mentioned. And Ashtavati Shula, it is Surya Prabhavati, which is Surya Prabhavati. So here the Ashtavita Shula. I think Ashtavita Shula, Surya Prabhavati. Okay, fine. Tridosha Shila, Sarvashula, that will all be covered. I think up to this you are clear, no? Any doubt other than this? Okay. Then we are going to the other part, which is about the Gulma. The Gulma, it is Chitragadi Krita and Dandyadi Gutika with the Chinjak Sharadi Shangavati and Kravyada Rasa, Kumaryasava and Pravala Panchamrita Rasa. You have the Hridroga, which is about 5 types. Like for the Kalpa, it is Mrigashungavasma and Vallabhagrita. Hridayarnavarasa. Okay. Hridayarnavarasa, that word itself just means it for the Droga. And the Urugraha Chikilsa and Mutra Prachura is about 8 types. Like in Kalpa, it is Vaikranta Garbarasa, and Ashmari, it is Trivikramarasa. And for the Uttarakanda, you have the Vachikaranartha and Sarpa Vishadar. That is the Prachetas Churna. That is not so important because very, very rarely only it can be used. Vachikarana is the Manari Gutiga, because Vanara is the sum which is Vanara Vachikarana, like that you can correlate. Vrinda Pushpatanva Rasa, Chandrora Rasya, and Patmagana Rasa. These are all things which is just removed for, which is used for the Vachikarana aspects there. Okay. These are some of the areas where the questions can be asked. I think you have understood up to this regarding the Yoga Ratnakara aspects of it. Any other doubt? I think the Yoga Ratnakara part is covered. We have something with the related to the Harita Samhita and also some questions. First, we will do some questions. Then we will go to the some of the Sanskrit aspect of this week. Okay. Okay. First, we will do some questions. According to Shishruta's Kalpasthana, no, that we will not do. We'll do with the Yoga Ratnakara questions. In which Dhatukshaya, the Shabda or the word Asahishnuta is found. The word Asahishnuta is found. Rasadhatukshaya, Rittadhatukshaya, Mamsadhatukshaya, या फिर Sangha. So, in Dhatukshaya, the Shabda Asahishnuta Lakshana is found out in which condition? So, the options are Rasadhatukshaya, the Raktadhatukshaya, Mamsadhatukshaya, and also the Medhodhatukshaya. Come on, what can be the answer? In which Dhatukshaya, the Asahishnuda word is coming? These are some of the questions which is repeatedly asked. What may be the answer? Rasa. Rasa is having the Shabda Asahishnuda, no? Very simple question. Dash is Vrishya Vataharanana. Dash is Vrishya Vataharana. Erenda Mula, Musta, Bilva, and Haritaki. Erenda Mula, Musta, Bilva, and Haritaki. That is Vrishya Vataharana. Which among that one is the Vrishya Vataharana? Erenda Mula is Vrishya Vatahara. Erenda Mula is Vrishya Vatahara, which is explained there. And maybe some Sanskrit questions also we will do, because this week the Sanskrit was there. The R and T, Ucharana Sthana is where? The R and the T and the Ucharana Sthana is where? Murdha, Nasika, Oshta, and Kanda. Murdha, Nasika, Oshta, and Kanda. Murdha, Nasika, Oshta, and Kanda. R and T Ucharana Sthana. What can it be? Okay. Whenever we tell the word R and T, which is a vibration which is going, vibration to the head. So, it is the Murtha. The Ucharana Sthana of R and T is Murtha. When you think about the word Pragopana, in that word, which is the Upasarga. In the Pragopana word, which is the Upasarga. Okay. Second option is Kopa. Third option is Pana. And fourth option is Nam. The word Prakopana, which is word is Upasarga. Okay. In the word Prakopana, pra plus Kopana. So the Upasarga is pra. Okay. In the word Agnivesha, which word is Vibhakti? In the word Agnivesha, which word is Vibhakti? Pratama, Dvitiya, Tritiya and Shashti. Pratama, Dvitiya, Tritiya and Shashti. In the word Agnivesha, Pratama, Dvitiya, Tritiya and Shashti. These are about the Agnivesha part which is mentioned. So, which is the Vibhakti which is found in the word Agnivesha. Okay. It is the Pratama Vibhakti. It is the Pratama Vibhakti which is found in the word Agnivesha. Pratama Vibhakti. Then next question we will do. Okay. One question from Prasuti we will do. The screening of gestational diabetes mellitus. The screening of gestational diabetes mellitus is done between dash weeks of pregnancy. Between dash weeks of pregnancy, the screening of gestational diabetes is done. Between 24 to 48, sorry, 24 to, sorry, not 48, 24 to 28, 22 to 23, 16 to 20 weeks, or 12 to 14 weeks. The screening of gestational diabetes mellitus is done between which weeks? Okay. It is between the age of 24 to 28 it is being done there. Okay. One question which is sign based. Okay. A 30-year-old male patient, okay, was brought to a casualty department. Was brought to a casualty department in comatose condition. Was brought to a casualty department in comatose condition, and the main lakshana was the pinpoint pupil. The main lakshanas were the pinpoint pupil, and also the reduced respiratory rate and the bradycardia conditions were there. What is the most likely diagnosis? So the pinpoint pupil is there, respiratory rate, bradycardia is there, and you have respiratory rate and the bradycardia conditions. So options are the organophosphorus poisoning, the sulfose poisoning, and also the opioid poisoning, or on the fourth option, it is the kerosene oil poisoning. What may be the correct option? It is being asked. Organophosphorus, sulfose, opioid, and the kerosene oil poisoning, which is the condition which is told there. Okay. So it is the opium poisoning because the word is coming under the pinpoint pupil there. Okay. I hope you have understood up to this. Any doubt up to this? We will move on to the Sanskrit part, a bit of it. What are the important areas where you have to cover with the Sanskrit part? I hope you have all started studying seriously for the AIPGT. Just don't waste your time. We are running out of time. So that's why just study whatever is, just mug up the guides and do attend the questions. That is very important. Okay. We know the Sanskrita Shabda. The Sanskrita word is Shuddha and Parimarchita Bhasha. The Sanskrit word is Shuddha and Parimarchita Bhasha. And the Vyakarana is where the Vyutpatti is told there. And there are three munis which is told. The three munis are Panini, Katyayana and the Patanjali. Panini, Katyayani and the Patanjali are considered as the three munis. Okay, it is Trimuni. It is Panini, Katyayani, and also the Patanjali. These are the three things which is told for the Trimuni part. Okay. And you have the Ishat Vibrita and the Samrita, the Bahya Pretna, Mahaprana, which is told there. And the Savarna, Grahya, Suvanta Pada, Tindida Pada, which is told. And some of the important area which is asked is regarding the Ghana and Dhaturiya, how much is, that's also, we have already covered that part. Kaivalya Samasa, and the Samasa, and the Samasa. The question is regarding the Sambandha. The Sambandha is Shashti Sheshe, Shashti Hetu Prayoge, and Shashti Cha Anadhare. Like that, the questions can be asked. So here you have the Karta, Karma, Karana, Sampradhana, and Apadana, which is mentioned there. And you have the examples for it. That is Ratnyaha Purushaha. The Ratnyaha Purushaha, Tahasasya Putraha, Sadhanasya Hetoha Sevate, and the Balakanam Chandanaha Dushtaha. Balakanam Chandanaha Dushtaha. That is mentioned for the Sambandha or the Shashti part of it. And you have the Adhikarana Karika, the Saptami Vibhakti, and the Adhikarana, which is told for the Karta and Karma Adhara, which is told, and the Karana Karaka, the Tritiya Vibhakti, Jalena Vinana Jivati Kamalam, like that, which is mentioned, and the Sampradana Karaka. Okay. First, we will deal regarding the Samasa part. Okay. The Samasa, the word is already telling like Aneka Padanam, Aneka Padanam, Eki Padabhavanam Samasaha, Aneka Padanam, Eki Padabhavanam Samasaha. So here it is told like Samasa. The word is Samasa meaning as Sankshipakarana. You are elaborating a word. The Sankshipakarana is mentioned there. And here you have two or more padas, which is joined for making a new word. So in between there is Vibhakti, which is present there. The Vibhakti is coming as the Lopa. Vibhakti is coming as the Lopa there. And the Samasa is divided into 5 types. So you have the Pancha Samasa. So you have to understand like as Pancha Samosa, like the 5 samosas, like that you have to understand. The Pancha Samosa or the Pancha Samasa, you can understand. What are the Pancha Samasa? That I will write here. The Pancha Samasa. Pancha Samasas are Kevala Avyayi Bhava. The Kevala Avyayi Bhava. Tatpurusha and Dvanta. Tatpurusha, the Dvanda Samasa, and also the Bahuvrihi Sama. The Bahuvrihi Samasa. These are the 5 types of Samasa which can be usually asked there. So here you have to understand like the Kevala, Avyayi Bhava, and also the Tatpurusha. Then you have the Dantwa and the Bahuvrihi. So you have to understand like the cat is using the BD. The cat is using the BD. The cat is the Kevala, Avyayi Bhava, and Tatpurusha. These 3 words are formed in the cases of the Avyayi Bhava. So the cat is using the BD. BD means it is Bahuvrihi and also Danda Samosa. This is the Samasa Beda, Samasa Panchada. And according to the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, it is about 5 types there. You have the Kevala Samasa. The Kevala Samasa is Vishesha Satna Vinirmuktaha Kevala Samasa. Vishesha Satna Vinirmuktaha Kevala Samasa. And the Kevala Samasa is like the Tatpurisha, Bahuvrihi, Dvanda, like that which is mentioned. It is Bhuta Purvaha. And the Avyayi Bhava Samasa is there. That Purva Pradha Pradhano Avyayi Bhavaha. Like in which conditions it is Purvapada Pradhana, it is called as Avyayi Bhava Samasa, which is mentioned. And Upanadam, like it is considered as the Upanadam. Upa plus Nadam, that is the Upanada, which is mentioned there. Then some of the examples are explained here. So, Jnanena Hinaha is some of the words which is mentioned. Jnanena Hinaha. Jnanena Hina means you can consider it as a Jnana Hina word. So, Jnana Hina, it is Tritiya Purusha. Okay, it is considered as a Tritiya Tatpurusha. Vyadhikarna. Tritiya Tatpurusha Samasa, it is mentioned. Jnanena Hinaha, Jnana Hinaha is Tritiya Tatpurusha. You have the Chatraya Hitam. That is Chatraya Hitam means Chatra Hitam. Okay. Here you have the Chaturtha Tatpurusha Samasa, which is mentioned there in the case of grammatological classification there for the Samasa. You have the Pararupa Sandhi, like it's Endri Pararupam. Lakara is there. In Sanskrit, there are 10 lakaras which is mentioned there, like the Lat Lakara. Lat Lakara is the present which is mentioned. That is called as Vartamana Kala, which is mentioning about the Vartamana Kala for the Lat Lakara. And the Lit Lakara is Paroksha Bhuta Kala. It is mentioning regarding the Paroksha Bhuta Kala for the Lit Lakara. Lut Lakara is regarding Bhavishyat Kala. Lut is Bhavishyat Lakara. So you have to understand like looting is something called as futuristic. Like the present, the looting is not happening. In the future, the looting is happening. So Lut Lakara is regarding Bhavishyat Kalavan. Then late lakara. The late lakara is samshaya artha prayoga. Late lakara is samshaya artha prayoga, and the lung lakara is bhutakala. With the specificity of bhutakala, it is mentioning there. The lung lakara is mentioned, that is the vitilinga part. And here you have the arshilinga, which is part which mentioned. And you have the Uttama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, and the Prathama Purusha, which is mentioned for the Ekavachana, Dvijvachana, and the Bahuvachana. So the Uttama Purusha is it for Ekavachana, Vachana is Vahi, and Mahi for the Bahuvachana part, which is mentioned. The Prathama Purusha is the part which is mentioned for the Ekavachana, and the Dvivachana is Ata. And for the Bahuvachana is Ja word. Bahuvachana is Ja word, which is used there. Then that is Vriddhi part, like a Samskrita Paribhasha. There are some aspects regarding the Vriddhi and the Samyoga and the Anunasika word. The Vriddhi means it is Vriddhi Radhecha, like that the word is coming. Here, okay. I. These three words are considered as a Vriddhi. So, like that, the pitch is going down. Like that, you can correlate. The pitch is going more. So, it is having the Vriddhi. So, it is considered as a Vriddhi Paribhasha. The Guna. Guna means Ade Gunaha. Like O. Like it's not increasing. It is considered as Guna. AAO, like that you can answer it, which is mentioning regarding the guna of a particular person. You have the Anunasika. Anunasika means the Mukha Nasika Vachano. Mukha Nasika Vachano, Anunasika. Then the Mukha Nasa, both are used here. Mukha and Nasika, both are used there. Varna Anunasika, that is Nya, Mo, Nga, No, and the Na part. No and the Na part, which is mentioned there for the Anunasika here. And Varnanasika, it is told like Anunasika, where you have the K, G, like that it is mentioned. K, G, word is with the Anunasika. K, G, that is for the Anunasika word, which is mentioned. And you have the words of Chaturdasha Maheshwara Sutra is mentioned. Chaturdasha, the 14 Maheshwara Sutras which is mentioned. The first one is regarding the I, U, N. Then the other one is R, L, K, A, O, and I, O, Ch, like that, which is up to H, L. There is a Chaturdasha Maheshwara Sutra there. Okay. Then the question is like, actually the Maheshwara Sutra is originated from the Shivagam. Which among the following Acharya has heard this and this root? So, of course, it is related with Sanskrit. So, it is heard by Panini. Okay. Then you have there is Pratyahara Sutra. There is Chaturdasha Sutra is mentioned there. This Chaturdasha Sutra can be made in the form of Pratyahara. This Chaturdasha Sutra can be made in the form of Pratyahara. That is why this is also called as the Pratyahara Sutra. That's why this is also called as the Pratyahara Sutra. And the Ishasprashta, Udata, Ucherudata, this is part which is mentioned there. Pada, that is Sumingtam Pada. These are some of the areas which is mentioned. And we will deal some questions which is related with the Sanskrit here. Okay. So here it is Kanda. With the Kanda, the Varna Ucharana Sthanas are what? With the Kanda, the Varna Ucharana Sthanas are Na or Dha, U, O, Tha, Tha, Ka, Ha. The Kanda Ucharana Sthanas or Kanda Ucharana Varnas are what? Okay. This Ka, Ha. From the Kanda it is coming there. Mahabhashyakara. Mahabhashyakara is who? It is Panini, Katyayana, Patanjali, and Bhattoji Dikshita. Bhattoji Dikshita. Okay. Mahabhashyakara is Panini, Katyayana, Patanjali, and Bhattoji Dikshita. Mahabhashyakara is who? These questions can be asked. Mahabhashyakara. This is a Patanjali. So Patanjali is considered as the Mahabhashyakara. What part? Then Vartikakara, who is considered as a Vartikakara? It is Varadwaja, Katyayana, Panini, and the Patanjali. The Vartikakara, Varadwaja, Katyayana, Panini, and also Patanjali part. Okay, Vartikakara is considered as the Katyayana. How do you spell the alphabets? 86 in Sanskrit. Okay, Ashtashat, Shadshidi, Ashtanda, Ashtam Shada, and Shadshidi. 86. How you will pronounce 86? Okay. Okay. It is Shad Shiti. Shad Shiti. Shiti is about the 8 and Shad is 6. That is considered as the Shad Shiti. Pidarau. Mata Pidarau. Pidarau is which type of samasa, Mrs. asked. That is Avyay Bhava, Tatpurusha, Bahurihi, or Danda Samasa. Avyay Bhava, Tatpurusha, Bahuvrihi, or the Danda Samasa. Which among the following is the Pidarau Samasa? Okay. It is the Dvanda Samasa. Okay. Pidarau. Au is coming as 2 here. So that you can consider as the Dvanda Samasa. So it will be like this. Pidarau, when you write, it will be like this. Pidarau is like this, okay? These are the part which is mentioned here. Okay, I think we will deal with some Yoga Ratnakara aspects and then we'll wind it up, okay? Anything doubt in Yoga Ratnakara? Hope everything is clear. Yoga Ratnakara, any doubt? We will deal with the other part, having the Yoga Ratnakara. These are some of the drugs which can be used, like the Ativisha and Ativisha. Mainly, I think the innovative herbs part of the Ativisha can be grown in the Himalayan region. That is why this Ativisha part is very rare and it is very costly also. This is a Cyperus rotundus for Ativisha, because it is Avara, not so costly. And this is the substitute for Ashtavarga. And there is some opinions regarding Yoga Ratnakara was written by whom. There is some Jain prescriptions or the Jain concept which is found all around the Yoga Ratnakara. That is why there is an assumptions like It was written by a giant priest called as Narayana Shekara. Some scholars, it is taken it as Nayana Shekara. Narayana Shekara, Nayana Shekara. That kind of controversy is coming here. So here there is a repetition here, especially in the case of Vardhamana Pipali and Bilva Phala with Guda. The Vardhamana Pipali is in the cases of Vishamajvara, and Bilva Phala with Guda is in the cases of Atisada. And Badara for the Kasa and Swarabheta is used. Only thing is that in that one, the shloka numbers are not given separately. Many times the shloka number has been restarted. And that's why the reference part is very rare. Here, this is the Trijata Kutika and the Marichati Kutika. These are the contents of it, like the Vasa, Swarasa, Pipali Kalka, Kakuba Churna, Artharga Swarasa, and the Manisha Churna with the Vibhidaka Avaleha Paga. Like, it was not only a book which is related with the different formulations, but also a compilation of work, like the previous scholars and all, the title references or their reference has been quoted in Yoga Ratnakara. These are some of the research articles like Ashtasthana Parisha for diagnostic method of Yoga Ratnakara and its clinical importance. These are the areas where some of the questions regarding Yoga Ratnakara is really asked regarding the Thaila Bindu Pariksha for the prognosis of diseases, and in the current paper, attempts were made to study relating the Ashtasthana Pariksha part, which is mentioned there. Special emphasis and applicability in medical practice. This is about the Yoga Ratnakara, mainly the book in the medicine. Yoga Ratnakara, the 15th century book, Yoga Sara and 16th, and Yoga Shata, 15th century AD, Yoga Ratnakara, the 17th century AD. And it can be considered as most important in Brihatriyas also. Okay. These are the important areas which is being covered today. Any other doubt? I hope there is no doubt. Study well regarding the Yoga Ratnakara aspects. And you have the Yoga Ratnakara part 2 also. There are references regarding Surya Prabha Vati and all is mentioned there. Surya Prabha Vati in Yoga Ratnakara. So here it is Vyosha, Granthi, Vacha, Agni, that is the Chitraka, and the Hingu. These are just made into a churna. Okay. These are all given for the Surya Prabha Gatika. This formulation was explained. Then Dushi Vishana diseases and Chardi Nirodhana aspect, which is mentioned there. Okay, these are some of the questions part. Okay, we will go to the questions aspect of it. Okay, next question A. Indralupta Vyadhi. In the case of Indralupta Vyadhi, which is the first foremost chikilsa which is being done there, the Vamana, Virechana, Siraveda, and Nasya. In the case of Indralupta, which is the first Prashvana chikilsa being done, Anantavata, Suryavarta, Ardhavvedaka, and also Shankaka. Indralupta Vyadhi, Pradhana Chikilsa, the option is Vamana, Virechana, Siraveda, and Nasya. Vamana, Virechana, Siraveda, and the Nasya. Okay, here you have the Siraveda, which is told there. The Siraveda is given as the first Chikilsa in the cases of Indralupta Vyadhi. Next question is nerve supply of the iris. In iris, which is a nerve supply which is supplied there. That is second cranial nerve, third cranial nerve, fifth cranial nerve, or the seventh cranial nerve for the nerve supply of the iris. For the iris, it is fifth cranial nerve. So how you can correlate is like, okay, the fifth cranial nerve. So the iris is like, yes. So here, it's like that. Fifth cranial nerve is the nerve supply of the iris. So you have to understand. Here you can write as 5 inside the eye of the person. It's 5 written. It's like this, the 5 written. Okay. The Shatapaka Balataila is used in which kinds of diseases? The Shatapaka Balataila can be used in which kinds of diseases? The Karnashula, the Karna Pranadha, the Krimi Karna, and the Puti Karna. The Karnashula, Karna Pranadha, Krimi Karna, or Puti Karna. The Shatapaka Balataila is used in which kinds of vyadis? It is Karnashula, okay? It's a Karnashula. The Shatapaka Balataila can be used in the cases of Karnashula. Then you have the Shushruta, that one. Kulasta. Kulya is the synonym of which part? Kulya is a synonym of which part? Kulya. Netra, Jihva, Nasa, Karna. Netra, Jihva, Nasa, Karna. Kulya is a synonym of which part? Netra, Jihva, Nasa, Karna. Kulya is a synonym of which part? Okay. Which may be that one? Any answer? Okay. That is the Nasa. So you can understand like Nasa Kula. Like that you can correlate it. The Nasa Kula. Kulya is a synonym for Nasa. So Nasa Kulya. Like that. The last question. Sorry. Adhikopa is which Vyadhi Pariyaya? Adhikopa is which Vyadhi Pariyaya? Abhishyanta, Adhimanta, Akshipagatyaya. None of the above. Adhikopa is which Vyadhi Pariyaya? Abhishyanta, Adhimanta, Akshipagatyaya. None of the above. Okay, it is Abhishyanta. Okay, Adhikopa Vyadhi is related with the Abhishyanta word there. Adhikopa Vyadhi is related with the Abhishyanta. Last question, one more question, then we will wind up. You have which Vyadhi is developed due to Pitta Dushti? Which Vyadhi is developed due to Pitta Dushti? Nasa Paga, Nasa Parisrava, Nasa Naha, or Apinasa? Nasa Naha or Apinasa? Which Vyadhi is developed due to Pitta Dushti? Nasa Paga, Nasa Parisrava, Nasa Naha, or Apinasa? Which is the word? What may be it? That is the Nasapaka. Nasapaka is the Vyadhi which is related with the Pitta Dushti. This is all about today's class. I think you should stress on the questions of Samhitas first. Read be thorough with the Samhitas. Find small mnemonics. correlate the mnemonics, then you start studying. That is one of the important thing where you have to understand. Start studying accordingly. This is the part which is mentioned. And there is only, I think, 5 or 6 months which is left for the exams. So that's more important. I think we will end up today's class. Good night. Have a nice day. Okay. I'm just end the class. Thank you.